Thank you. The mother of a Lexington crash victim is speaking out tonight. She is calling for added safety measures to roads after her son collided with a bicyclist. Both men died Thursday night. WKYT's Grayson Passmore tells us why she believes bike lanes, sidewalks, and other measures could prevent more deaths.
I really would like for something good to come out of this senseless tragedy.
Deborah Allen's son, 23-year-old Zachary Allen, was riding his motorcycle through the intersection of Mason Heatley and Beacon Hill Road Thursday evening. He and 30-year-old Zachary Blessing, who was riding a bicycle, collided. Both men died.
Not only did Zachary pass away, another Zachary passed away. If we can do anything to save just one life, it'll be worth it.
Allen says she's been to the crash site. She says it's a dangerous intersection with visibility issues and no bike lane.
That road needs a lot of work.
Allen also points out only one side of the street along Beacon Hill has a sidewalk.
But as Lexington becomes more of a metropolitan area and you've got different aspects of life coming through a roadway at all hours of the day and night, there needs to be some safety measures put in place.
Now, two families are grieving.
He was everything. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna go on.
Leaving Allen with a message for anyone who will listen.
To really hug their loved ones each and every day. Don't take a moment for granted, not one single moment. And let's make some changes for our community so that nobody else has to suffer from this.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
We have a link with more information and a GoFundMe for the Allen family on our website. Just go to WKYT.com.